So the other day I was talking to an old friend that I haven't actually talked to in a long time, and they were asking me what I'm up to these days, and I told them I bought a new computer and stuff, and they were saying that's pretty cool, what games do you play, and blah. And I told them I play RuneScape, and they didn't know what the game was, and I pretty much summed it up for them. And I said it was a game that's like in a medieval time where you train skills, and then they asked to see clips of the game. So I actually showed them my YouTube channel and told them that and stuff like that. And they, like, everyone who first initially sees RuneScape or old school RuneScape in the year 2022, they look at it and say that game looks terrible. Why are you playing that game when there's, you know, Call of Duty and we have Fortnite and Minecraft and all these other amazing games? Why you choose to play old school RuneScape or even just RuneScape in general, even like other people that are into PC gaming and maybe know what RuneScape is, you know, they play like whatever, what is that new game that everyone was talking about, Elden Ring, or I don't even know really, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. Why do you play RuneScape with your time? So I thought I would make a quick little video today talking about why I choose to play RuneScape with my time. Now, first of all, it is a personal preference. I started playing RuneScape when I was 9 years old, so I pretty much don't know any other games other than RuneScape, and RuneScape just has always just made sense to me. I love the progression of games like RuneScape. Back when I was in high school, do you remember Clash of Clans or maybe Farmville? I loved those types of games where, you know, you would like slowly progress through leveling and unlock new things all the time. But the thing about those games is they got very boring very quick. Because the thing about those games is, you know, you logged in for about 10 minutes, you know, harvested your crops, or in Clash of Clans, for example, you'd log in, do your, I guess, daily raid. I kind of don't really remember too much about that game, but it was like a daily, you know, you went in, collected all your gold, and then did whatever you had to do. And then it got to the point where, you know, you got so high level into it where, you know, to get an upgrade on even something as basic as a wall would take, you know, 10 days to do. And then you kind of didn't really have any content to do for 10 days besides like come on and grab your gold or whatever. And I kind of see RuneScape, each individual skill, each individual quest, achievement diary being like an entire game, like a mobile game, right? So for example, and this is a really good example actually, you know how we have farming the skill? That is the entire game of Farmville, if you really kind of think about it that way. And I would say farming in RuneScape has more content than Farmville itself did. And it's just every little bits and pieces that I fell in love with those games, those, you know, little mini mobile games where you had progression, right? The reason I fell in love with those games so much is because your progression saved. I was not a big fan of games where, you know, they were similar, like mini games in a way, where they were just like instant dopamine, quick rushes, and then that was it, and you didn't have any of your progress save. Similar to like Flappy Bird, or maybe, you know, even something like Fortnite, where, you know, you do level up, but then your rank resets every season or whatever. I think that's kind of how it works on a game like that. But with a game like RuneScape, whatever you do, you know, if you know, open up a clue scroll today, you will have the reward from that clue scroll forever. If you get a quest cape, you will have the quest cape forever until they release a new quest, you know what I mean? If you get a 99 skill, you will have that forever. You know, you make a ton of money, you will have that forever. Get an item you really like, you will have that forever. I think you get the point. So in a way, it felt like playing RuneScape wasn't a waste of time. When other video games, they might have been fun, they felt like a waste of time for me. I don't know what it is about that, but whenever I do play other games, I do have a lot of fun with them, but I can only play them for like an hour. Even if I load up a Minecraft world or something, I can get really into a Minecraft world for, you know, an hour, 2 hours or whatever, and then after I log out, I completely forget about it and, you know, never really touch it again. And even a game like Minecraft, you can kind of go on forever and ever and ever and still have stuff to do, right? But I just get bored of games like that, especially like shooter games. There's this game called Combat Arms, which was made by the same people that made Maple Story, Nexon, and Combat Arms was a really cool kind of Call of Duty game in a way, and you did rank up and whatever, but at the same time, it was just the same thing all the time. You get into a match, you kill a bunch of people, and then you die a bunch of times, and that's it. That's the entire game. So like I can only play that for an hour, and every couple of months I get a little nostalgic trip and I load that game up and play it for a couple of hours, and then that's about it. You know what I mean? It just, I like games where your progress just saves all of the time, and I think that's why I like RuneScape so much. Another thing I really like about RuneScape compared to, say, other games is you can do whatever you want whenever you want. There's no exact storyline that you kind of have to follow. There's no classes. Like, I know a lot of other MMOs have classes. Even something like MapleStory or World of Warcraft, you have a class where you know, go ahead and choose whatever you want to play, and then that's what you're kind of stuck with forever. Imagine if RuneScape had classes, right? So instead of, you know, being able to train all of the skills, you could either be melee, range, or mage, and that was what you had for the entire game. That would make the game so different. I can't imagine having classes, or even, you know, you chose like a skiller class and you could only train the skilling kind of things. That would be freaking weird. I can't imagine like having a game where you have so much content and then locking it behind different classes. Now, I know that the classes help each other out and stuff like this. I did play MapleStory. I know how that stuff works. I remember with MapleStory, for example, if you got to level 70 in, I forget what the class was called, it would give you a passive XP throughout all of your games, right? And I know there was a couple other ones too. If you got to like a max level on a certain thing, you'd have a 2% more damage passive thing, and stuff like that's really cool, and stuff like that makes sense. But I just don't understand why you'd make a game and then not let every single player indulge in that content. You know what I mean? Now, I know RuneScape will make like a high level update. For example, Raids 3 is coming out this week, and you know, not every player is going to take part in this, or not every player is going to have the requirements for this, right? But every player will eventually be able to get there if they, you know, try and complete all of the requirements for it. They can take part in this event, right? I don't know, I just think that there's so much to do in RuneScape, and that the whole world is open for you to go ahead and explore and train all of the skills, do whatever you want whenever you want. Like, I didn't not wake up today thinking that I was going to go ahead and do the Falador Diary, and then I just randomly got the urge to go kill 1300 black guards to get some stupid achievement diary knocked out of the way, right? There was no thing telling me this is what you have to do, right? And like, I know a lot of games have that, like that, they are fun. I'm not trying to put any other games down, but I really liked Skyrim when I was a kid. The thing I didn't like about it though is that you had to like kind of follow like a storyline in a way. Now, that was a pretty open game as well. Like, there's some where you have to follow the story no matter what, like the campaign mode or whatever. But I just don't like the fact that you can't just go wherever you want, whenever you want in certain games. And I think RuneScape, just the freedom of it is why I enjoy it so much. For me, it's not about the graphics, it's not about how cool the game looks, how complex the game is, how skill-based the game is. A lot of people also say that RuneScape does not take any skill, and honestly, it doesn't. It's a time investing thing. Like, you know, if you spend 1,000 hours at RuneScape, you could have a pretty good account, right? It's not one of those games where you can pick up and learn it and just become a master at it in an hour and then that's it, you know what I mean? RuneScape's a time sink game that as long as you keep putting hours into it, you will become better at it, right? And I know there is certain aspects of RuneScape, like doing the Inferno, for example. No matter how long or how good you are at the game, it's still very, very challenging and very hard, and probably the average person couldn't do the Inferno. But for the most part, with something like RuneScape, it's just a time sink. Like, if you just invest a lot of time into it, you will just become really, really good at the game. And I have all these people from YouTube and random people in the game saying like, oh my god, you're so good at the game, you're a legend at the game, whatever. I'm not, man. I've just been playing this account for a long time. I do know a lot about RuneScape, and I do spend a lot of my time playing RuneScape, so maybe that's why I'm quote-unquote good at the game. But it's just a time investment. There's really no skill in anything that I've done. Just, you know, patience and time. I think RuneScape, to me, has parts of every game, or every video game, I guess I could say, all put into one to make it like the ultimate best game to play. You know, it has some things that take a lot of skill and talent, like PKing or something like the Inferno. It has a lot of AFK things that a lot of people like, similar to like the mobile phone games. And it just has so many storylines and quests like a lot of other games do as well. And a lot of MMOs, like the quests on the MMOs is go kill X of a creature. We have that's called Slayer. There's just so many aspects to RuneScape. There's so much to do, and with updates every single week for 20 years, we will never run out of content to go ahead and do. And another reason why I choose to play old school RuneScape is the updates are polled, and the community votes on the updates that we get. This is very interesting that a lot of games don't do, and I think maybe will start doing, is kind of letting the community want what they want actually happen. Because, you know, a lot of games, the reason they mess up or the reason they fail is because they make updates that the community doesn't like. Now, I know a lot of it's not the developer's decisions, a lot of it's the owner of the company's decisions, but they just want money, 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 money. And that's not a good long-term plan for a game to grow, right? If, you know, you log into RuneScape 3, for example, and it's pretty much like 5 ads pop up saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, do your daily spins. Like, you know, you log into old school and you just continue where you left off and you can play the game. Like, whenever, that's one really main reason why I stopped playing RuneScape 3, is it just, every time I would log in, it was like I'd have 5 ads pop up, and it was just like, oh, I have to close 5 things before I can even see my character. Just not appealing, right? And a lot of other games are moving in this direction where it's like, buy this, buy these gems to help you speed this up, buy this XP booster, buy this follower, familiar, whatever you want to call it. It just, people don't want to see that, you know? The reason RuneScape's so successful is because, like, it's just, you log in from where you left off, your membership gets you every single thing in the game, and you continuously pay for your membership, right? Now, there's some MXT that wouldn't be so bad, but I wouldn't want it in old school RuneScape. But I know some games do it very well, some not so much. But yeah, this is why I choose to play old school RuneScape. It's familiar to me, it's a lot of fun, I'll never run out of content to do, and it's just overall a good, relaxing, chill game to play in whatever mood I am in. If I'm very tired, very lazy, I can go ahead and AFK a skill and watch a movie. If I'm really wanting to play the game, I can knock out some quests, do some achievement diaries, you know, go PKing, try the Inferno, stuff like that. And then there's mixed content where, you know, you can kind of pay attention, kind of not, and whatever. It's a really good game overall, and this is why I choose to play old school RuneScape in my spare time, I guess you could say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you went ahead and watched the whole video, comment Black Knight down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.